Hello and welcome to Infamous MCP, the audio podcast. This is Brandon, or Mutilus on Discord.
This is Parker, go by one who parks on Discord.
This is Josh, go by Grummelzog on Discord.
Welcome back to another extremely riveting episode of Infamous. Parker, it's going to be so riveting.
I'm already riveted. Riveted. I haven't been on for a long time. I'm really excited.
True.
I actually am really excited to play a game of MCP. So I'm excited to talk about MCP.
All right, we're going to jump right into it. So Reese, they're currently playing. I have been playing the Stab'em list, the Stab'em staples that we built a while back. CJ lived up to his word, honest man that he is. He brought our new Hellfire Club list to the store last week. He played several games with it. Parker, what do you think his record was?
0 and how many it was? 0 and several.
Well, it was 2 games. You're going to bet 0 and 2?
I'm going to say 0 and 2 because that's generally what happens whenever you take out a new list, right? You're just like you fumble fuck for a bit. I think it has legs.
Wow.
But I think it didn't work. Go.
Josh, he has 0 faith in your boy CJ. 0 faith at all.
No, I don't have 0 faith in CJ. It's the list. I'm
CJ was piloting the list.
I'm assuming the pilot is the pilot is fine. It's the brand.
You don't have to assume who the pilot is. I'm telling you, it's CJ.
Okay, CJ piloting that list.
Yeah,
and this is the one that where it's like all the apex predators, right? No. This is the other one you guys.
No,
made,
that's
right?
why I played last week. He played the Hellfire Club with Jugs and Mr. Sinister and Omega Red.
I'm gonna say, but you played the I'm gonna come kill you with the best models in the game that can kill you list.
Yes, but I only played once. He played against Josh as well.
Okay, I'm gonna say 1 and 1. So
there you go. So you're thinking he lost to me and beat Josh?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
All right, so now we know where Parker thinks all of you guys are in the pecking order.
I don't know why you guys. That's not what you asked. You didn't say Parker, who is best. Rank
true.
them, Parker.
That's
no,
true.
you said
no, but
I'm
just deducing. I'm a deducer. I deduce. I'm not here for the dissidents. I'm just saying.
I'm guessing that
he
got killed by
novels.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Josh. I didn't hear that.
I was going to say I think he loves his space detective novels or whatever Dresden Files is about.
Dresden Files. It's not space. Yeah. It's just Chicago, which is basically the outer space.
That's kind of like outer space.
It's kind of outer space.
Tatooine, Chicago. What's the difference?
Parker, I have some news for you though. Uh-huh. You are incorrect. He did not go 1 and 1.
Oh,
he went 0 and 2.
Wow. I knew you were bearing the lead.
So high.
I knew you were bearing the lead. I knew it.
He went up so high. All right, but I think in both games, there was a lot of positives to take away. So specifically, Josh, you want to give a breakdown of your game?
Yeah, so I'm still trying to hone my Criminal Asgard list. And it was very close. Like, I kind of felt like I had the upper hand a lot. But as I started, like, turn 3, turn 4, started to, like, look at the board state and really take in the game, like, it really could have gone either way. I just had typically when I play CJ, someone on turn 1 gets a spike, and then I just have a shit ton of power and just roll with it. And on this one, it happened to be Sif, who just, like, pushed Omega Red away and got, like, a good bit of damage off. But it really made me think the entire game because he just had so much that he could do. Like, I think I was playing Kingpin. And so obviously he had to deal with the whole, like, I count as 2 to your 1.
He's literally playing against, like, one of the hardest scenario matchups.
For
him specifically, which is scenario that can fight. Because you had a bunch of brawlers in a Kingpin list.
Yes, and I only beat him by, like, 4 points, I think. Like, it was a really close game. And there was a lot of, like, I would go move over to do, like, rotate my models. And he just like, okay, cool. I'm going to go do this now. And I was like, fuck, man. Yeah. I think Kingpin spent all game just trying to steadily move between points. And then being
the
like,
double move and out of range 1 is the most depressing feeling in the world for Kingpin. He's like, I double move and I'm just out of range 1. You're
yes.
like, fuck.
And I was like, well, I could have gone over there and, like, headbutted him or something. Like, I had to think really hard on every single move because there was no room for error for me because if I let him get going, it was just not going to go for me.
Yeah, the early turns are really fast because you'll move your guy to a point to rotate, and then he's like, all right, cool, Sinister double moves and walks you off the point. And you're like, okay. And then
he
he's
did
like
that to me.
3 genetic tokens with power sitting on a point. You're like, he's unkillable. Like,
yeah, Sinister dove my back point. We were playing on is Infinity Formula the B?
It was Extremis.
It was Extremis because it was Diamond.
Either Alien Ship or Legacy Virus, I think.
Legacy Virus.
Yeah.
And he just dove my back point, and I was like, oh, fuck, I have nothing to deal with this. Like, I had no idea he was just going to do that. And I was like, I can't get him away. I don't really want to fight him. Like, and I couldn't do the whole, like, he played it really well where I was, like, trying to wait him out, and I couldn't. And so I'd move over there, and he'd be like, cool, Mr. Sinister moves you off the point, I score it. Have fun. I was like, shit.
So there was a couple obvious growing pains because he's not a Hellfire Club player, and he had never played that list before. I think he misdeployed a little bit, specifically just he deployed Juggernaut way too early, because Juggernaut is your safe grabber in that list, basically. You have to get him in a spot where he's going to get an extract. And he kind of messed that up.
How is he a safe grabber?
He doesn't have a safe extraction, but generally speaking, you're not going to kill Juggernaut on the first turn. And so he's not the traditional safe extraction, but once he gets the point, with the Hellfire Club leadership in your back pocket, you can't really stop him from getting one and kill him because he's going to then heal and gain power for more damage reduction later in the turn. And so it's really hard to get it away from him. You can do a safe grab on a D or an E because you can get the Hellfire Club leadership while he hasn't moved yet. It's just so unlikely that you'd ever choose that order of events that it doesn't really matter. But he's not like this. He's not going to get it and get away. He's just a brick, and you need him. The whole point of the list is predicated on the fact that he's going to get a token. And if he doesn't, it changes the way the whole list plays. And so he kind of messed that up, not realizing it in the moment. And so it kind of put him behind the 8 ball. And then there was one time he double moved Emma to a side point, but it was against Kingpin, so she didn't contest against Sif. And then Sif is just trying to kill her immediately because she's in a really bad spot. He realized after the fact he should have just shot her and tried to push her off the point with the Mystic attack, and that would have been way better. And then there was one final mistake he made. He just lapsed in judgment in the moment. Is he killed somebody with a token, and then instead of just picking it up themselves, put it on the ground because he forgot that somebody hadn't activated yet. And so they I think it was Bullseye walked over and picked up the extract, and that was a 2 victory point swing, which really screwed him at the end of the game.
Yeah, I would say the main thing is if he had deployed Omega Red against Bill and Juggernaut against Sif, I think that's an entirely different game.
Yeah, it's a lot harder on your side.
Sif can't move Juggernaut, so I'm just cool, I'm just throwing a sword at him until something happens. And Bill is not really a fighty model, and so it's cool, I'm just going to throw 5 dice at Omega Red, hope I get enough for a throw eventually. Yeah, so I think if he had deployed a little differently, that would have been really just a toss-up game. I don't know how it would have gone.
And with Sif, Sif can charge, but she can't really relocate super well. So if Juggernaut just leaves, she's just kind of stuck holding the side point as a 4-pointer that's not contributing. Bill can at least summon the storm or throw people and move. It's hard for Sif to contribute when she's locked to that side extract or secure, I mean. And so it just would have been another option he would have had. So then going into my game against him, we played another center line extract. I think it was Legacy Virus and Mayor Fisk. So we had a pretty aggressive. I specifically, because we do a pick ban mission selection in Kansas City, so some people at home probably won't have this experience. I intentionally banned his 17-point mission and picked mine that didn't have 17 points. So because I know his list, because we built it together, is trying to get 17 points as often as possible. I did everything in my power to not let that be an option. And so I made him play something else other than the go-to 4. And then that got him a little out of comfort zone. But it also kind of got me a little bit out of comfort zone because I didn't have a good 16 points. So I played Red Skull 3, Logan, Zemo, Bob. No, not Bob. I didn't have Bob. I had X-23. Oh, no, and Bob. No, Mordo. Sorry, and Mordo. So Mordo and Logan basically just killed his whole team. But it didn't happen like anytime soon. It happened very slowly. And so I couldn't really deal with Juggernaut at all because I couldn't ever focus enough power to put him in danger. And like with him having like access to patch up, I can't risk leaving Jugs alive and like failing. The first turn, he walked forward and put some damage on X-23 and then had Prio going into the next turn and dazed her as the first activation. So that wasn't great. I just kept leaving people on like 2 health, 1 health. Hellfire Club kept building it back up. A lot of my damage was just not getting through. Logan kind of failed the first couple tries to kill people. Kept leaving on 1, did like 1 damage Juggernaut. Then he got Do You Know Who I Am out of the game. Had to spend a whole round walking back into the game. But what the thing that really killed CJ was he was taking all this damage, but nobody died. Like we went to round 3, he had no injured characters, but everyone was on life support by the time we got there because I kept just replacing the damage with more damage as he was healing it. And eventually I had like 1 big turn where like Logan dazed 3 people and then followed that up with X-23 killing 2 people. And then the next round, Logan KOs 3 people. It was just like, it just finally the dam broke at the worst time. And he had like a 6 victory point lead at that point. Like if it hadn't have broken right then, I lost. It was just like, it just like happened that way.
13-6 till I called out you didn't score your points or something.
Yeah,
you scored 7 points. Like you got.
I scored 7 points in 1 turn because I had both Mayor Fists and all 3 extracts. And so because he was like Juggernaut, Emma holding the Mayor Fist is like I can't go in here. Oh, and then Omega Red just refused to die for the first 2 rounds. I put so much damage into him, he just took no damage. He's like block 2, block 3, block 3, block 2, and it's like fuck. I just couldn't get him off the table. It was a really close game, and it just finally the waterfall crashed down on him on the last round, and everything died. And if it wasn't for that, he would have got it. So it's 2 close games that he learned a lot of lessons in. Then so I'm excited to see the list do more. It plays a little bit like Web Warriors, but with just this like kingpin tanky resilience. It just wades into you and isn't afraid, which is very different than the way they play. It's not timid at all.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to play my Asgard into that list, just because.
Yeah, they just don't die.
Like you gotta finish them, or you're not gonna have a good time. Because that's the problem of like you attack someone, you don't daze them. It's like, well, you just gave them 4 power to do whatever they want.
Like
congratulations.
Sif can be good into like Omega Red or Sinister or Emma, but if Sif is against Jugs, she can't do anything. She's never going to kill him, and he's just going to beat her to death slowly over time. It's like, oh, you have damage reduction. It's like, well, you take an auto one every round, so you're already on the clock. And then I'm just putting 8 dice into you. It's like your DR1 isn't nearly as important when you're taking 8 dice shots. And so he's just like, I put 2 or 3 damage through every round. Like you're just eventually going to fall down, and I'll get your extract, and then you're going to be dead because like I just won't care. You'll never contest the point ever again, and I just don't care about you.
But I think the list definitely has a lot of legs. I think you practice it, get it up a bit. There's something there. I've been waiting for someone to kind of crack open Hellfire post-change, now that it's a fair affiliation, I guess.
It's more fair. They still have a dog shit affiliation list.
They still have the best leadership in the game, but
they just have to pay. Like they're now balanced like the others, as opposed to just Go Break Me was the affiliation identity before.
Well, like Winter Guard might have a better affiliation list. Like the Hellfire one is not good. Like that's the whole point of the list. Like we're playing with what is widely considered terrible models.
R.I.P. Winter Guard.
Yeah. Well, they have a decent list now, don't they?
It's okay. I mean, the Dark Star is still the worst 3.
She's not the worst 3.
Yeah, I can't.
She's not. I'm not going to argue she's good, but she's aggressively not good. But she's not like I don't think she brings badness to the table. Like she has tools that are good. She just doesn't have the ability to utilize them, which is why she's not good.
Yeah.
Like she just needs more power. If she had more power, no problem.
But I also think it's one of those affiliations. Like when I was playing it, I was always like, "Cool, I just need to hit my affiliation cap as cheaply as possible, and then bring the things that are going to make it bruiserish." Which was Malekuth. The answer was Malekuth.
So Darkstar has range 4, 5 dice energy gainer, reroll all.
Don't you dare
if you
start
want.
talking about the redeemable qualities of fucking
Hold
Darkstar.
on, let me
I know
finish.
exactly how that sentence
No.
ends.
Hold
Here
on.
we go.
Just please
Oh
let
my
me
god.
finish.
Are you trying to kill our listenership?
Just hear me out. I'm just going to make a point. And I'm not going to argue that anybody do anything. All right. Rending Force, which is choose physical energy spender, range 2, 7 dice, cost 3, bleeds on a wild. It's kind of a lackluster spender, but it's a 3-pointer. Dimensional Portal is the dog place, range 3, place 3. Can only be placed once per turn, active, 3 costs. So it's just the dog's place, except it's not an action. So that's good. It's just expensive on a character that doesn't have a builder. And then Dark Force Barrier is the same as Cable Shield, right? It's just range 3, add 2 dice, cost 3. It just costs 1 more. Flight. Very lackluster frame. I totally agree. What is the one faction, one leadership that basically generates infinite power and likes you using superpowers?
Mighty
Cap, kinda.
Professor X is what I was
going to say.
Because it actually manufactures power.
Yeah.
It's more power than you would have ever had originally, and it stacks up really large over the course of the game.
Yeah.
You start getting these tidal waves of power that you just can't even spend. She can spend it. She can reposition your entire list every round if you just funnel enough power to her. Then she can also always dump it by getting force fields. That's all I was going to say. Is that I don't think anyone's tried her with Professor X, and I think that'd be an interesting thing to do. That's all I was saying. I'm not saying she's good.
I'm trying not to destroy this cast with the sound of my laughter. Oh my god!
I'm just saying, like, the concept.
The
alone
number
is
of
not
characters that are better than her and Professor X at the 3-point slot, I think, is like 10 long. It's so many.
Why?
She's like the 11th character if all you took was Professor X and 3-pointers.
Okay, I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. Just like, what's a better 3-pointer than her at this specific thing of just supporting your list when she gets enough power?
That's supporting your list when she gets enough power. Okay, hold on. I'm just trying to.
So the closest equivalent is Heimdall to me, but Heimdall doesn't have nearly as good of a place. His rerolls versus shielding is arguably better, I would say. It's like comparable at least. And his frame is better. And his the character is a better character, but like placing range 3 is a crazy ability.
I think they have the exact same stat line, don't they?
3-3-4? I think he's 3 but has 6 health.
Yeah, that's true. 6-5.
But he's also getting 2 power a turn. His powers cost a little bit less. I guess they do cost 3.
So you're looking for a character that is as power hungry.
So no, support 3-pointer that with infinite power, hypothetically, it shines. Because the dog costs actions is the issue. So like he can't place everybody because he can't.
The answer is
she can.
The answer is Karnak.
Karnak, okay. Karnak I don't even know what Karnak does.
Karnak with infinite power, he actually has the ability to get power himself because he has meditate. But the ability to turn skulls on friends is pretty dumb and amazing.
Okay. Skulls on friends. What is it? Is that pinpoint weakness?
Teachings of the 3 worlds. It's 4 cost.
Active when another allied character within 3 makes an attack or defense roll. Okay, is that a misprint then?
What?
It says it's an active power. Is that misprinted?
Must be. Well, how
or
could
is it
that be
you
active?
choose an ally when you use it?
That's not the reactive symbol or something? I don't know.
That is the cross is the active, that's why meditate is that. And then the thing below it is a reactive to lightning bolts.
Yeah, reactive is teachings of the 3 worlds. I'm confused. What did you
I'm looking at it, it's a plus sign. I don't know. We're looking at a different site. I'm on MCPDB. So I probably have the original art and it's been updated.
Okay,
is what I would guess.
No, it
is the same symbol as pinpoint, right?
Yes.
Okay, then I'm just looking at a misprinted card. Okay. So after another allied character within 3 makes attack or defense roll, calculate successes. Character may add up to 2 of their skull results as successes. That's pretty solid. Swingy but solid. But he can't place people range 3, right?
Nope.
Okay.
I would say
that's good, but I mean, it's really, really swingy because it's one result. It doesn't turn into a crit, which obviously would be the best way to do that. But it's better than a reroll because it's just a guaranteed success.
It
would be really good on defense, I would think.
Yeah. I would say, doesn't Ghost Spider just have? Isn't she just better?
Well, she doesn't need more power, and she has good support, but she's not like.
Okay,
doing
you're
that level of
specifically
stuff.
saying if you have like a big power thing to do.
Well, her support is Lifesaver. That's her support. Like, so she can do that on her own, but Lifesaver isn't infinitely protective. It's just a really good situational ability.
Oh, it's
Like-
it's Clea.
Clea, okay.
Clea is actually better than Darkstar. She moves characters, and Talons of Farala are really good. It's really good.
And that's the extra dice.
Yeah, 2 extra dice and
Okay.
judgment if they're 5 or more and take damage.
Yeah, that is solid. I know Zach's been liking her a lot, so
Yeah. No, that's a strong point. Clea would definitely be up there on the list. For sure.
I think
place
Clea
2
and
versus
Strange-
place 3 is big, but yeah, no, that's definitely more than what Darkstar is bringing. Or at least a different thing, right?
Right.
Yeah, 2 extra offensive dice versus 2 extra defensive dice. Like obviously the offensive is better.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a fair point.
Also, she has a throw, or that's character or terrain, so she's doing some control as well.
Mhm.
Enemy
The thing I like most about the Darkstar situation is that you can place her and then place somebody else. So the range is basically limitless, like because you're placing range 3 plus Blaze plus range 3, and you can let's say you have priority, you can aggressively place your models forward and then activate Darkstar first and get them out before they get counterattacked. Or that I think that's really cool. Or vice versa, it's like reposition the entire board as the last activation of the turn. It's like I'm going to place 3 models right now, and it's so hard to counter that. And
You're gonna need
I just
9
saw that
power
as
for
a
that,
potential. What'd you say?
I said you're gonna need 9 power for them.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
that.
That's why without somebody like Professor X, that's why
Yeah.
she's garbage. Because it's an amazingly powerful effect that you just never get to do because she's dead by the time she has 9 power.
Yeah.
And I think that's a fair point. It just popped in my head while we were talking. I wanted to discuss it as a line of thought.
I will say this: when we say things like trash and terrific in terms of models, there are a few really high outliers, I think, like on the plus side. I don't think there are any like insanely negative models in this game that only do bad things and never work. I don't think that's actually a thing. I think this game is actually the bell curve in this game is not a perfect bell shape, I don't think. So in Darkstar's case, there are affiliations, and she has a tactics card that I think is not nothing. Like there are reasons why you could play this model if you wanted to play Darkstar. You're like, I really want to play Darkstar. Then you could play Darkstar. If you want to you could play Dark Aura Manifestation, and it would work.
Do you know what
So
that does, Parker?
Aaron would strongly disagree with you. He hates the card so much.
Oh, really?
Because he misread it. So it's during the Power 5's Ally, Darkstar can play 1 to play his card. This round, other characters within 3 roll 1 fewer defense dice considered check.
Oh, that's
it's not enemies.
oh, God.
Yeah, and that's when Aaron literally picked
I've-
the model up and put it in his bag, just solo on her own. It's like,
Well,
I'm never playing this model
Yep,
again.
there it is. She is the worst model in the game. I was wrong. There is a negative side of this game, and it's fucking Darkstar. God damn,
Yeah.
this model's terrible. Holy shit.
I'm gonna clip you saying at least she has a good tactics card and send that directly to Aaron.
Oh,
as
God,
soon as you
no.
said that, I was like,
He's gonna have
Parker,
a stroke.
I was trying to be on your side for half a
I know,
second. I
right?
should have just stayed hard away from it. I don't know why.
No, hold
Is
on.
this-
So, do you think playing her with Professor X has at least value?
I would agree. It has some
Like, obviously, the tactics card's garbage. Like,
Okay,
we're not
yeah,
talking about that.
okay.
I
So
don't know if she makes the cut, but it does have value.
Right. Like, you could make an argument for it as a hypothetical competitive option that is not directly bad. Because like, if
Directly
you
bad.
need that kit of placing range 3, she is probably the best person for the job. Now, if you don't need place range 3, you only need place range 2, there's 2 better options. And so that's out. You need specifically the range 3 place 3.
now,
If that's the mechanic.
in my personal opinion, in Professor X, I need somebody to start the chain, and I've actually wondered if the dog could do it. And since the dog places 3, and it can start the chain,
Yes.
it's not.
It's just worse in the long run, right? But
Yeah.
you need somebody to go first.
Right.
And so, like, usually they do stuff like Nightcrawler or Wong or any number of people like that who
Ant-Man.
like don't really need their own power. Ant-Man's a great choice as well. The problem with Ant-Man is that means he's not interacting. If you choose any X-Men, they can interact. Wong can also potentially interact with Meditate. It's just really hard depending on the order of activation.
Right.
But yeah, there are things you can do to get the chain started. Darkstar does not do that.
But that's what I'm saying. I feel like in the game, if you took, like I said before, she's probably the 11th or maybe even the 12th or 13th model in this game that you would take in a Professor X list with all 3s and X, because that's how bad she is compared to all the others. She needs, in my personal opinion, I think if you took both of her powers and you made them both cost 2, people still wouldn't play her. And I know that sounds broken,
Ooh.
but I think people still wouldn't play her because I still think it would be hard to do. However, you would consider her now in things like Steve. You would consider her now in things like A-Force, maybe, like some of these other affiliations that could give her a power. The fact that you need to give her 2 before she does anything is so sad.
I disagree a little bit. I think if you made her defensive power cost 2, I think that just gets her back in line with the rest of the game. And not in a good way, just in like a baseline way. Like, she now exists with people like Taskmaster, like as models that don't really get played outside of niche situations.
And that's what I'm saying. If you wanted to make her somehow different, like
I think if you made
right now, if you wanted to make her the same, yes, you would bring her defensive buff down to 2.
Yeah.
If you wanted to make her like a different model, like, yes, you can take Lockjaw. He always gets 3 power, so he can always teleport someone. That's your teleporting guy for that.
Yeah.
But if you want to take Darkstar, she actually has a defensive power also, and she has the ability to interact with anybody who can give her +1 power. So like, so Darkstar or Lockjaw now becomes a question, right? I think if you deduct her just 1 point, 1 power, it's still no question, I think. But that's what I'm saying, I guess.
I think if
in order to make her
both cost 2, I think that gets her in the realm of she's considered.
Right.
I don't know that she's still unplayed it if they both cost 2, because that first ability is so good. Like, it is so good.
Yeah, that's what I would like to. If you don't want to do anything to her kit, I think that that actually gets her, like you said, considered. That's how bad she is.
I mean, if they just made her gun reroll any instead of all, that would be immediately she'd be considered in lists, because she. And I think people underestimate the reroll all portion. Like, Doctor Strange has that, and people love it. Like, it's not a bad ability. Like, she just has Doctor Strange's gun. Like, how is that a bad thing? It just doesn't have the push, or now the pierce, obviously. Now it's great.
Yeah.
But, like, she's a fine, forgettable 3, and her superpowers are grossly overcosted.
I don't think
that's a problem.
I have this. I'm going to hold an envelope to my head, my Johnny Carson. I don't models that will never get touched ever. Nah, that's what she belongs to. I don't think, no matter how bad she is or how little she's taken, the fact that she's never been touched means I think she will never be touched. She will just be forgotten. The island of misfit toys. And I think it's really strange because, like, it would be such a small. You could do a small tweak like just -1/-1, or you could do a big tweak like they kind of did with Gambit and really make them feel like she's supposed to be a conduit for the Dark Force dimension. There's so many cool things you could do with that, but they didn't. They just gave her teleport and defense dice. Like, that's such a dumb thing.
It did feel like kind of a hand wavy, just give her some powers and get her out the door.
Yeah.
But also, it's like, who cares about Darkstar? She's not a famous character, really. But then at the same time, it's like, well, then why did you put her in the game? Like you could have picked anybody else to put her. Like, it's like, asking for it. Like, just please give me models I care about. Yeah. And they're like Darkstar Viper, and you're like, I will kill myself. What are you doing?
They made Ulik cool, and no one gives a shit about Ulik, but they actually made him feel like a troll.
Yeah,
like,
the model Ulik so much better than the character Ulik. Like, no one gives a fuck about who Ulik was.
Yeah.
Nobody cared until I started haymakering people.
Yeah.
Okay, we got super off-topic things to me. So, back to games. Real quick. Is there anything else we want to talk about? The Hellfire list.
No.
I do think the Brotherhood sideboard is good to have, because the inflexibility of the Hellfire Club, specifically with our strategy we're trying to do, is sometimes non-conducive of certain point totals on certain deployments. So I think it's good to have an alternate pitch, but you would never choose to play Brotherhood over Hellfire if you had the choice. We were talking about that at the table, and CJ's like, well, I could do this Brotherhood list, or I could swap out one character and play Hellfire Club. And we were like comparing the two leaderships, and we're like, okay, so Mystique's leadership is basically less than 1 turn of Hellfire Club. Like if you like put a value on it. Like,
Correct.
it's like, all right, so like there's 3 extracts on this table. At best, I'm going to save 3 power throughout the course of the game and have a completely irrelevant secondary component. Or I could heal 1 and gain a power on every character every turn. And you're like, yeah, what are we doing? It was crazy.
I will say this, CJ, if you do listen to this, I believe in you. And my first reaction, which is he probably went 0-2, playing a very nuanced list for the very first time against 2 experienced players. And that is what happened. I feel vindicated right now. Thank you for your long story about how it turned out, because the only thing I learned is that CJ did a really good job playing a very intricate
Subtle
list, and
Yeah.
I am correct. So that's what I learned. That's what.
So you learned you're correct, and
No,
you're basically trying to apologize to CJ for saying that he was going to lose all of his games.
No, I'm not apologizing for telling
stand by
CJ.
it.
This list lost twice because it's a difficult list to play. This is
There
actually
you
the description of the list that you guys have made so far reminds me of the first time I tried to play Kingpin, which is I've lost every game I've ever tried to play Kingpin, and I know he's really good, but it's the reason why is I go in there and I go, oh, you mean I can't just walk my guys forward and win? I thought that's what this leadership said. That's what I was
Yeah.
promised, and there's actually a lot more nuance than that. And I go, ugh, I don't want to learn how to be intricately boring. Like that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like you have to like run the machine very expertly, but the machine just like it just makes big rocks into smaller rocks. It's not like a fun machine to watch. So I'm sorry. That actually sounds like a fun machine to watch. I like a pile driver is kind of a fun machine to watch. I need to pick a really boring machine. It's I didn't enjoy getting good at Kingpin, so I stopped. Right, I didn't bother. And so props to CJ for attempting this. I hope he enjoys it. That's, I guess, the only thing I would say. I'm like to
I
find out
think if he
he's having fun.
sticks with it, he will enjoy it. It feels very much like a CJ style of play, and it's got a lot. Like I said, I only beat him by like 4 points, I think, with a dead hard list that I've been honing for months. And Kingpin, one of the worst things he wants to play against, and like he almost got me. A couple things here or there, and he would have had it. So
I decided to send Aaron an update on how the podcast is going. I said, we just found some new Dark Star tech, dude. This sit is so spicy. I'm sure at this point he's uninstalling his computer. I never want to speak to these people ever again.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay. Moving along, do you guys have anything else you want to chat about before we get into the mission?
I want to tell you the concept of the list I'm playing tomorrow. Finally, I'm playing a game of MCP.
Who are you playing against?
I don't know.
We have a boycott against playing you because you never show up.
I have showed up, and nobody showed up that day, and so thankfully, my good friend Aaron was there to play Judgment with me. I'll say this is I want to say 3 weeks ago. I remember we got really, really mad because all the Harvesters guys said maybe, and none of them showed up. I remember that.
Oh, I do remember this now. Yeah. Aaron sent me a message back. He said, "For fuck's sake." I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean.
I think
he's probably mad he missed out on this discovery period.
I think he's really excited to listen to the cast now. I think that's what it means. So the list concept I have is after playing Hydra a whole bunch, I've always kind of played it as an attrition list, and I found that I always had this core attrition that I was always playing and having a lot of fun, and I played against other people using Hydra for more of a scenario balance, and so I was like, you know what? I'm going to try a whole bunch of things I've learned in this podcast and put them all together with my favorite Hydra leader and just abandon the other Hydra concept and see how this goes. So I'm really excited to try it. It's Red Skull, Master of Hydra. He's the leader. And then it's...
You keep choosing the wrong leader.
Because I don't think Strucker... I just don't think he works. I think he does. He must work somewhere, but every single time they release something into the game, it's literally, this is really cool. By the way, it fucks Baron Strucker. This is really cool too.
You
Also
think
fucks
so?
Baron Strucker. Yeah, there's just a lot of shit that's immune to shit. Like there's a
The
whole
immunities are not great, but
there's a whole very famous affiliation right now that a lot of people are excited to play that literally like just shits all over him.
which one?
Apocalypse, right? Like Apocalypse just it laughs at him
Why
funny.
does Apocalypse? I mean, Apocalypse is a problem, but
Right.
like you just don't put effects on him.
What do you mean you just don't put effects on him? Like
You just kill everyone else. Like he can't win the game on his own.
okay, I guess you could
At
try
least
that.
that's my opinion after playing like 20 games with him. Like
Okay.
if they kill your henchman quickly, you lose.
Okay.
He can't carry. He's not Thanos. He can't carry the game on his own.
Well, Strucker is still in the list actually. I just never play him, and that's what I found is I just never play him.
There you go.
I don't reach for him. But Strucker is actually in the list because I think he does a really good job of being Strucker. Like if you don't play Baron Zemo, you can play Baron Strucker. I will be shocked the first time I take his leadership. But if I'm putting both of them down on the table because I think it's important to do for a scenario, then I could switch to Baron Strucker if I saw my opponent's list and went, oh, Strucker's leadership would actually work really well here. And I think that's kind of what he is. I think he's a very reactionary leader. He works exactly when he works and not when he doesn't. I know that makes no sense, but you have to count on your opponent to help his leadership be good. And you don't know it until deployment happens. And we talked, what was it, like 8 podcasts ago about, 2 leadership affiliations where you put both leaderships down on the table and then pick after deployment. So
I think it'd be unlikely that you'd be ready to switch unless your list was just very conducive of it. In which case, I think you should be playing Structures all the time. But
and that's the thing is, I'm not going into Strucker's leadership. He's just After I was building the list, I was like, he is the 3-point Hydra model that I think I want in this list.
I think that's fair. I think he's a good 3-pointer.
Yeah.
Anyway, I interrupted you. Please continue.
Oh no. Anyway, so it's Red Skull, both Barons, Strucker and Zemo, Winter Soldier because I love Sleeper Agent. That's the main core is Red Skull, one of the Barons, Winter Soldier with Sleeper Agent. That's like the core fighty list, and then you build things around it. But I never played the other things around it very often. And so I went back to it. I was like, what if I played something that I have seen before, which is Red Skull, Master of Hydra, with some scenario focused pieces. And after I started thinking about it, one podcast, we talked about how the Hulk likes Venomized, and Sleeper Agent Hulk is pretty good. And so I was like, oh, Sleeper Agent Hulk and Venomized, that's good. And they're like, then you, Brandon, you talked about how Juggernaut also likes Venomized. And I was like, Juggernaut?
He really likes it. I've never seen anybody do it, but it's so good.
There's like Juggernaut with Venomized is strong, and he would like Red Skull, and he would like Sleeper Agent too, maybe. Maybe that could be something. And I was like, and you also said, and I think while we were talking about Venomized, we talked about Rhino. And I was like, wait a minute, Rhino would also be good. So what if I just play Red Skull as like as an alpha striking damage model and somebody who helps scenario, and then
5 people that like Venomized,
and then 3 people who like Venomized, and then some other like scenario typey guys. So it's got a fighty core and a group of large bases that like Venomized that are good controlling pieces that do well in scenario, and that's basically the concept. And at the end, I just threw in Black Cat because she steals things and likes to have extra power from Red Skull, and my Bob because I love Bob. And the 10th model was I was really debating for a long time, and you know what I actually did? I thought, what would Brandon Shirley do with the 10th model in this slot?
Don't call me Shirley.
I bet he would pick
Mighty
the
Thor.
Punisher, and so I did. One of the
Punisher in Hydra.
Mm-hmm. And the reason why is Red Skull Grunts and Bob and Hydra models just tend to die. Like they do fall down.
I'll give you that. Okay.
And
I'm with you now. Good.
And the Punisher just hanging out next to a Strucker or next to a Zemo. And he's just chucking out more dice your opponent can handle. Also, he is really good at getting onto a midline first turn because he moves once, double fires, and then steps up. So you're consistently getting on the scenario on the midline on turn 1, and that's basically how the list works. Is I'm getting on the midline on turn 1, with a lot of models that like getting stuck in and are difficult to kill because there's a big. You don't want to attack anything because nothing seems good. You don't want to attack Red Skull because then Winter Soldier attacks you. You don't want to attack.
Yeah, diversified power where you're not putting all your eggs in one basket. Right. So no matter what they attack, you have a counter strike.
Right. You don't want to attack Bob because he's Bob. You don't want to attack Hulk because he's Hulk. You don't want to attack Juggernaut because he's Juggernaut, and so on and so forth.
Nothing makes me happier, by the way, than sacrificing to Bob. God, it's so...
Yeah.
They always forget, and because they think that he's like a grunt, and so they don't even think about it, and they go, oh, fuck. And it's like the worst, and then they daze him, and it triggers all these effects, and they got nothing out of it.
Yeah. I am really excited to play the list. You know what? A card I put in the list? Because I have found with specifically Red Skull Master of Hydra, Bob consistently gets way too much power. Lots of characters, so it's like just big stacks of power. Because most characters get up to like 6-ish power. But with Red Skull, they get up to 8-ish power. And so I put in Inevitable Betrayal. So Bob could play Inevitable Betrayal. So if they don't kill Bob because he's on his injured side, and he does have the ability to get some power, then you could just play Inevitable Betrayal on Bob and say, fuck you, I still count. Because it seems, I think it'll be funny as shit.
It is a card. It's been played against me successfully, and it basically swung the game. So it is definitely a thing. And I think if you're playing Hydra, if you're planning to have World Dom in your list, you're already playing Mayor Fisk. Mayor Fisk specifically is punishing with this card because it's a 4 victory point swing. It's really rough.
Yeah,
so I don't hate it.
Yeah, I'm trying. I think with the fact that Mayor Fisk still exists, it does, right? I'm not crazy.
Yes, Mayor Fisk, and there's a new one that's Wedding Party.
Yes,
it's basically the same mission, but the points are further apart.
Exactly what I said. Exactly what I thought. With Mayor Fisk and Wedding Party existing now, World Domination happens more often. Inevitable Trail happens more often. Models like Hulk, Juggernaut, Rhino all get, I think, better with those kind of things. I'm very excited to try this as I'm actually playing for scenario, but I have a couple lethal models. That's one of the things I didn't like about the full scenario lists, is if I ever needed to kill their, insert difficult to kill model here, I was just like, well, I can't, or I've got to hope for I got to hope for dicing them, right? But no, I have a Red Skull, like I can kill them.
And you're putting Sleeper Agent on who again?
Hulk, Juggernaut.
That's okay, just Hulk. Okay,
Hulk,
just the big guys, got it.
Or Juggernaut, or Rhino.
Okay. I don't know that it'd be worth it on Rhino, but it's possible.
It's worth a try.
He does function a lot like Hulk, so you're not wrong.
Yeah, he works a lot. The only thing I don't like about Rhino specifically is he loves to attack to do, to keep his, thing going.
Set
right?
up, yeah.
Yeah.
Because there'll be a lot of times he'll need to attack to then be able to throw. And so if you can't throw first to soften people up, it's kind of dicey. Same thing with like the slide. It's just harder to guarantee the kill. Because if you're don't have the power to slide or throw first, he's kind of just winging 5 dice attacks, which means you're not attacking that turn unless you don't care about losing Sleeper Agent. And so it's just kind of wonky, but obviously you're getting a 2-point discount, so you expect some kind of downside.
Yeah, precisely, and that's what it is. Like I fit in something for it, and I go, cool, maybe this works. Another thing I like about the list is one of the things that I struggle with in a lot of lists right now is I want to take 6 tactics cards commonly, because usually 4 of them are bad.
You're going to want to take like 8. Half your list is like predicated on tactics cards.
Well, and that's the thing, is I think I don't always have to. I can't always world dom, right? So it goes away. Inevitable Trail probably becomes really bad value some of the time, and then a lot of them are just like Juggernaut's card, Rhino's card, Zemo's
I just
card,
don't see
Bucky's
a world
card.
In which you ever play Inevitable Trail, like in a squad. I don't see it happening because you're always taking Baron, right?
I'm a Baron after all. No, I don't think you'd have to.
Because you're not playing Zemo every game.
I'm not playing Zemo every game. I don't think. I think Strucker.
Okay.
I think Strucker is as good as Zemo a fair amount of the time.
Okay, we'll go with that. So we'll say that Baron Zemo is a 50% card. Your 2 restricteds, you're gonna have patch up if you're playing Red Skull and or Hulk and or Jugs and or Rhino. So like patch up's locked in. You're gonna have another restricted, probably either Brace or Sack.
Mm-hmm. Right now it's Brace.
Then right, and so now we've got another roughly 50% card with World Dom. So we're basically in for 3. Venomizes will be in pretty much any list with either Hulk and or Jugs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Sleeper Agent also.
Sleeper Agent, I think, is the I don't know. Soldat is also I don't know. Like there's
Soul
that's
that
the thing
Activated is really good. Yeah, like there's a lot of cards here that are really character based,
right?
As opposed to like situation based. I just don't see Inevitable Trail ever making the 5 because you will talk yourself into anything else that you have first.
It was my 10th card. It was definitely my 10th card, but I think it's not just I think it could happen. I
like,
think
what about Joint Effort? Joint Effort would be so good in this list. You have so many little cheap guys.
Joint Effort is not terrible. It also can't you Joint Effort Red Skull's attack like with the counting blanks? Is that true? I think.
Victory Assured or what? Oh no,
no,
you're just talking about him.
Just,
yeah.
Just
let me
as,
check.
Just
I think
as blast,
it does.
right? Like, because
Joint.
Joint Effort just says add dice for dudes.
I'm checking.
Can't remember what it says.
Next attack action made by a character, it adds 2 dice for each. Yeah. So it's a super attack.
Yeah, so you just make Red Skull's attack even bigger.
Yeah, and you get to place the grunts. So you're like guaranteed to get +4 dice. I guess not +4 because he doesn't count himself. Each other, yeah. So at minimum, you're getting 2 extra.
But Joint Effort. Wait, do Joint Efforts? Because grunts say you never count. Well, you cannot play.
No, it's an allied character.
Oh, okay.
It's just you can't target them with cards, but you're not targeting them with cards.
I see.
You're targeting yourself, and then the grunts are just triggering an effect.
Well, see, I'm glad I described the list today because you're right. That's better. I think Inevitable Trail could gain.
But you're talking about Inevitable Trail is the goal is to win on scenario. If you're playing a game, if we've already agreed it's best on Mayor Fisk and on Wedding Party because it's double points and it's so much more impactful on those missions. Because a lot of those times you don't want to commit too many people to the middle, so you don't overload one side. So the one guy swinging is a big deal. Well, you're already playing World Dom, so now you're in for 2 tactics cards that are scenario based, and you're talking about getting a grand total of 3 victory points out of it. Like that's a lot of cards for a lot of situations that you like. Man, that's rough. Now, if you're saying I'm only going to play Inevitable Trail when I don't have Prio on Mayor Fisk, it's like that doesn't feel as bad. But I still I think, but the situations in which you need that 1 scenario point swing, you're already going to have lost the game. Where if you just play Joint Effort, you might be winning anyway. Honestly, because you're getting a better effect earlier.
I honestly never think about Joint Effort, but But the reason why I don't like it is because I don't like just giving some more dice to a character. I think it's generally bad, but specifically on things like Red Skull, and he's always got guys around him like doing things. I think it's gonna work because the way this list usually piles up.
Yeah.
I don't think you need a final turn card like Inevitable Trail. So let's see. I like Venomized. I'm not a fan of Sleeper Agent, but I've never been a fan of Sleeper Agent. It's just way too easy for an errant dice roll to fuck your whole strategy. Unless it's something like I'm going to Sleeper Agent Black Cat, and therefore Black Cat will be able to steal from you with no reaction or something that you like. I only need it to happen once. That's all I care about. We're done. Like I just need that to happen. You're like, okay, sure. Like I can totally buy that. Like
so something like Sleeper Agent is exactly like, do you know who I am? Or this is a robbery. Like there are things that you would want Sleeper Agent for this list.
Yes, but the problem is like getting Rhino to 4+, 5+, 6+ power to then play it in a useful situation, right? And so it's like, how do you get him there without ever risking failing it, right? And that's like a mission objective isn't even legal anymore, so you don't even need that. You're just trying to get the throw off so they can't brace.
Oh, I guess you're right. With Rhino, it's less. It's Juggernaut and Hulk, I think, that would definitely get enough power to use it and appreciate it.
But what are you trying to stop with Juggernaut? Like Indomitable? Like stopping Indomitable would be good, but Jugs can also get to his throw card like on his own. There's no risk of failure.
Like, do you know how is still good? I mean, you can still throw a big ass thing at somebody and make sure they go down.
I totally agree. Yeah, I'm saying I like it with Jugs.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I just don't generally like it with Hulk because it's like, okay, you're getting your size 4 throws, but like because of that, you're never attacking with it, or you're only attacking in very specific situations. I don't think that really control-y playstyle functions in the current meta, which is much more fast-paced. I think Sleeper Agent Hulk is a thing of the past, is what I'm saying. Now, if you're saying that I just want to have Sleeper Agent for my early throws, and if it breaks early, I'm fine with that, that's a mentality I can get behind.
That's actually...
But if you're going to be like, I'm going to save Sleeper Agent the whole game and just play Control Hulk, you're like, that's not going to work anymore. That's what I'm saying.
And I absolutely agree with the second thing you just said, which is I really like Hulk. Specifically, I think the Sleeper Agent gets better, obviously, whenever you have other models that can kill things, right? If you're playing like all control lists, it feels bad because all of a sudden your Hulk just throws one thing, like you said, and that's not good enough for Sleeper Agent. But when your other models can kill things and can whittle things down, and now the model that you're targeting is on 4. You throw something at them, they can't brace. Now they're on 3, and then you swing when they're on 1 because they can't bodyguard, they can't sack. Like there's lots of layers that people give to make sure their 1 or 2 health model lives. That's what Sleeper Agent is for. And then if I fail on that turn 2 attempt, I don't care. Cool, Sleeper Agent's gone away. But it was useful, right? It was useful because you yes, if dice be dice, but I'm setting myself for the best success chance that your model goes down no matter what, or that I throw them no matter what, or that you take the brace no matter what. Juggernaut and Hulk are both really good at that, I think.
I think also the current meta we live in is not nearly as ripe with the reactive defensive abilities as it used to be, because we used to worry about like fallback, mission objective, brace, sack. Like every one of their tactics cards was built to keep them alive, and then they'd usually have a couple abilities on their characters as well, and it's just way less prevalent now.
Yeah.
But again, I'm totally on board if it's for a very specific reason and not a play style.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else offhand that would be particularly spicy. Because you're not running any other leaders for like alternate. I don't think that's relevant. You could play Zemo as your leader, just get an extra tactics card. Like if you're that worried about tactic slots.
I think if you did that, I'd probably drop Rhino. I think he's the thing I could drop for that.
I do like Rhino.
But I like Rhino on the list. I wanted to try him. Also, here's the other thing of the list. I have played Rhino once. I've played Juggernaut twice. I just don't play these models very much. And after we talked about them with Venomized, I was like, I will put these guys, these guys going in this list that I already like, sounds like a lot of fun for me to play. I'm just excited to play it because there's a lot of things I want to play.
Can you run through the characters real quick again?
Red Skull, Master of Hydra. That's 2. Baron Strucker, Baron Zemo, Bob. Winter Soldier, Hulk, Juggernaut, Rhino, Black Cat, Punisher.
Black Cat, Punisher. And Black Cat's there for scenario presence? Why not, like...
I had 2 slots. I feel like
Spider-Woman. She's affiliated.
She is affiliated. There's not really an affiliation need in this list other than just to get affiliated.
Sure. There's not a lot of faction keyword.
Yeah. I don't hate it. I don't.
She's just she's a fighter. She does conditions. She also steals. Martial artist is pretty good right now.
That would give me 2 4s instead of so many 5s. It's probably better because if I don't want Rhino, then I can do her.
I just don't see also you ever justifying 3-point Black Cat over Zemo. Like,
no, you're right.
You have like all your 3s are affiliated, so like fighting an outside 3 to squeeze in just seems unlikely.
She was in there just kind of an afterthought, just kind of like, oh, I can give her extra power. That's probably good. And I just threw her in there because I had 2 slots at the end that I was staring at.
Yeah. I do love joint effort the more I think about it in this list, because you have an abundance of cheap models.
Yeah.
That are easy to gang people with, right? And it gives you like the Helios laser equivalent of like, this guy is getting erased, like go away.
Yeah.
Which is what I wanted Red Skull to do anyway. Like that's what.
Yeah, exactly. He's your sledgehammer. Like I'm going to engage you with garbage, get you tied up with fodder, and then sledgehammer your big guys. And you're like, okay, you're just going to play whack-a-mole with Red Skull. The last thing I'm going to try and do is convince you once more that Strucker is the obvious leader of this list. Imagine how annoying it would be to have a Juggernaut that when you incinerate him, he punches you, gives you incinerate, and heals one. And you're like, God damn it, you fucking asshole. And he's like, have fun with that incinerate. You're like, fuck.
Like I said, I think there is absolutely a time to play it. And I think my new... I used to be only Baron Zemo only and this package. And then I played it a bunch. I was like, man, if this was Strucker instead, it would have just been better. Because Zemo is good on turn 1. And then every turn after that, I'd rather have somebody who can actually like sit in and take hits. Because Zemo was I basically created a situation where when you put Red Skull, Zemo, and Winter Soldier next to each other, Winter Soldier is usually so far away they can't easily attack him. And Zemo is giving everybody buffs. So I basically had put everybody in stealth because you didn't want to attack Red Skull and you didn't want to attack Winter Soldier. So they just killed Zemo. and he had to be up close to do a lot of damage. And so then I was like, oh, I just basically put a big target on Zemo's face. I was like, what if that target was on Strucker's
Zemo
face?
does attract bullets.
But with Strucker, he can take some bullets, and then when he takes some bullets, he just heals them all. Like he just goes back. I'm gonna try it.
Heal any more with his leadership.
And I'm not gonna lie. After our conversation, I think there's absolutely going to be a moment when I look at the field and I look at my opponent and I go, we're going to go Strucker leadership because Red Skull's leadership is not going to get a lot of value, and Strucker's will.
Yeah. The fact that you can't even start gaining a benefit till round 2 is kind of rough for most times. Like, obviously, the large bases have a small opportunity. Like, one guy can get extra power. And that one extra power is actually really relevant, specifically with someone like Jugs.
Yes.
You're like, oh, now I have 4 power. And becomes your safe extractor immediately. Like, that's pretty cool.
That's 100% where the original idea came from. I was just like, large bases. And I just put them all out on my table. I was like, where are all the large bases? And I was like, hey, he's kind of cool with this. Oh, that works.
Yeah. I really like the Venomized on Jugs in this specifically. I honestly would just take Hulk completely out of the list. I think that's a dead character.
You think I'll just be reaching for Juggernaut?
I think you will be reaching, because I guess the only argument for is that you want to just get into an absolute brawl. But in the current meta we live in, I think Jugs is way more survivable than Hulk, even with the health pool. Like, it's just so good. Not to mention, there's so much like mind control shit running around. It's like everyone can move people. Helmet is a really good rule in today's meta.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of energy damage, but I mean, like, Hulk isn't extra tough to energy damage either. So, like, if you just do math on DR, Hulk has basically Hulk's health pool. Sorry, Juggernaut is basically Hulk's health pool. If you just count the DR. The fact that he can also do all the cool interactions on today's scenarios, like what is it? It's downtown something. No, Deadline to Destruction. The fact that he can just hold extracts and laugh at people on Deadline is so amazing. And it sounds exactly like the kind of mission you should be playing with Hydra.
It is. It's one of the 3. Yeah. It's the 3rd secure.
Exactly.
This is actually one of the reasons why I went to Hydra and I was like, wait a minute, like, there are really good scenarios for Hydra right now. Why don't I like focusing on that and seeing how if I can play models that are good for that? And
I like your list because it feels like you're attacking the blue scenarios as opposed to you're fighting your opponent.
Right.
It feels like you're building a list to play well on secures.
Yes, that is.
Now, don't lose prio roll, but hope your opponent doesn't know
that. True. I mean, and also if they pick some other blues, like, I can do other things. It's just that I love my blues. So let's play my blues. I feel.
Sorry, Josh. I feel like I'm stepping over you a lot.
No, I mean,
you're here.
I don't have a ton to say about the list, really. I'm very much like, I need to watch it be played to picture it and visualize, so...
Hydra's like my baby, so I get very passionate about it.
Yes, I can understand.
And it's just funny because I hated Hydra when it first came out.
It's one of those ones I've always been tempted to. I just don't own very many quote-quote evil models, so it's hard for me to like dip in without full committing for like 6 boxes.
Yeah.
So.
I think there's some hot takes in here that I'm really going to like. I think I'm really going to enjoy Punisher. I think I'm really going to enjoy Juggernaut. I'm going to put Spider-Woman in here, and I'm going to try it, and because I think it does need another 4. So,
yeah, and I feel like she does more of everything else you're trying to do without being a one gimmick piece.
Yes, you're right.
Because basically all you're trying to do is like steal and extract and run away to slow down your opponent, because I don't see you winning in any like stand-up scenario battle.
The fact that she can also, I love Interrogate. I
also like Interrogate.
And so she is good at exactly what we're talking about with this. And I'm surprised I didn't think about her beforehand, but I honestly don't think about her. I only think about her as an A-Force and Avengers character. I never think of her in the other 3 fucking affiliations she's in. I only think about her as an A-Force and Avengers character.
I was actually really mad that she's in Hydra because I thought it would have been perfect for her to be a sleeper agent. Because not only would it be so thematic, but it'd actually be really good on her because you couldn't interrupt her Spider Strike thing steal. Whereas like she goes to steal your extract and now you can't sleeper agent to protect it. And so it's just really weird. Like, I know thematically, like, the one time they actually picked the person that's affiliated with the affiliation, but it's like if you just hadn't, sleeper agent would have been such a perfect play on her. And it also opens you up for the double agent, where she gets double activating around. Like, I doubt you'll play that card either, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Okay. moving on to our mission of the week. We're doing Inhumans Deploy Advanced Weaponry. So I'm looking at the records here, and it seems like really strangely this mission was basically not played at all, and then sometime around March it got played a lot.
What?
I don't know if you guys know anything about that. Yeah, it's really weird. So technically speaking, this is one of our lowest play rate missions with 3%, but that's over a calendar year, and it's only been legal for like 5 months. So that's obviously a skewed number. It is getting played a fair amount, 1,271 games, which is actually pretty high up there for the other missions we had been talking about. Okay, so this is a 4 extract mission at 18 points. The ability gives you a beam 3 6 dice. And then typical, you cannot add dice and stuff, like we talked about before. What do you guys think about this mission?
I like it. I do not run it in my current missions. But I feel like, depending on what you run, it's a very interesting game of chicken because of how close together they are. And so you can, safe extract with someone and maybe hit 1 or 2 people, depending on how the game is played out, right? I just think it really makes you think through your opening moves, because you can always grab it and then run away, right? But Beam 3, 6 energy dice, which I think is on average the weakest. Is that how it plays out? Because
What
it's
do you mean?
like weakest defense.
Oh, like for defense stat?
Because
energy
Mystic
is statistically speaking the lowest stat, because the more models have a lower Mystic, but so many models have a randomly huge Mystic, like Magneto and people like that have like the shield effect. And so because of that, the number works out to where energy is generally the lowest printed number.
Yeah.
And there's also usually more special abilities against the other 2 types. Like against physical attacks, do X kind of stuff.
And I do like that it's, I don't know, I like even missions, because I feel like it forces me to actually go fight or make my opponent fight me. Because we can just be like, cool, I score 2, you score 2, I score 2, you score 2. We're just going to do that whole game. Like, at some point, one of us needs to make a move. So, I'm a fan.
Parker, do you have thoughts?
I hate this mission.
Okay.
And the reason why I hate it has nothing to do with, I think it's like viability. I feel like for me, it creates this real cognitive dissonance where what's the best way to put it? Like, I go, I'm going to send somebody up here and they're going to die. and it seems really strange, because why wouldn't the other scenarios that have all the others like set up on a D, right? Like where they put something on the midline. There are lots of midline extracts. Why is this one so like scary? I just feel like what ends up happening is I'm going to send at deployment. Everybody has to choose if they're sending one model to the left or one model to the right, and the rest of their models to the opposite side. And they're just going to try desperately to keep 3 at the top of, by the end of turn 2, they'll have 3. And I think that's what it feels like it becomes, is they go, I'm going to try to, use my absolute slipperiest model to pick up one of them and send the rest of my list at the other 2, so that when they send the models at the other side, I'll be able to get 3, and you just forget 1. That's what I feel like this does, and I don't like that style of play where it's. He said that, Josh, you said chicken, like it is kind of like that. It's like who blinks first, or who has the model that can safely extract off the side. It's also like who has priority on top of 1, or sorry, on top of 2, because that might just be the person who wins the game, because they just hard retreat. And the other side, they just, tower up on the other side. I really don't like this, because I feel like that's what it creates.
I think you're not wrong in that that's like the first layer of the onion, where it's like that's where everyone goes to is their first thought. And that's what, because it's their first thought, that's what gets represented in the earliest games played. I think it does break that up a little bit. Not like it's not the most flowchart mission we have, but that's not a wrong opinion where it will cause that stuff to happen. I think that is, like Mayor Fisk, that's the first way you try and play it. Then as you get more experience, you start refining it into different strategies that are built within that concept. Refused flank is obviously something that's going to happen anytime there's a flanked mission, anytime you have split objectives. Refused flank is something that you're going to see, where it's like, I'm just going to put all my guys here, that way I can't lose this side. And if both people do that, it's a really boring game. But, I mean, the problem is that it's a group think of that's the way you're supposed to play it that causes it. I think a lot of people also look at this mission like Josh does and goes, oh, cool, I know that you're going to put at least 2 of your models on the midline. I'm going to kill those models now. And so it's a way to accelerate the attrition fighting of the game. I think a lot of fighting lists actually play this in the hopes that I can convince you to bring your models forward. And I don't think he's wrong. Like, I played it with my Asgard list, and I had like 4 turn 1 chargers, and it was really fun because I just immediately you're engaging in combat on the first round.
When I was running pure Asgard, I had this in my list because it was like, cool, come to the midline, let us cross blades and have an honest game of MCP. So,
but I don't think it's honest. I feel like if you want to do that, like there are other
a knife fight
can
can be honest, Parker.
Like which extracts do that?
Like Legacy Virus, where there's like
I had that as well.
Where there's just like
so
the reason why I said
the
is
problem
that
with
this one
Legacy
looks
Virus,
like you should. Under what scenario is it not optimal to have one?
Well, because what's actually
field
happening in Legacy Virus is everyone's bringing a safe extractor, like we've talked about. So it really is a split scenario because the middle just disappears before you ever get a turn. And now we're doing the same thing that you suggested that this mission was doing, where it's like, now we're stuck on opposite sides. What do we do? Mm-hmm. And that's what most missions devolve into in today's meta that I've seen. And maybe I'm wrong, but that's just what my experience has been. And so in so many games, it's just less objectives, and the same thing happens. I think you'll see a lot of people do like Juggernaut to one side, pick one up, try and live, everybody else to the other, turn one, next round, run away, right? And so like that can work, but like it's not enough extracts like herbs used to be, where you can win the game on the extracts, right? And so it's like if you sell out to put all of your models in a small space, there has to be a conducive, secure scenario to allow that to work. And I think that helps a lot.
I do really like your posit that in this case, it is very similar to Legacy Virus, that if you assume that your opponent's going to be playing one safe
my
extractor,
opponent has Namor, ASM, or somebody. It's
they have someone. Yeah. So it feels like they're going to hard deploy on one side. Well, then you go, okay, I'll counter that. So we'll just have a fight on one side because I will have 2
That's
extracts.
what I do. Yeah. Here's 5 models. Let's go.
I will.
This is exactly what I wanted.
Exactly, because and the funny thing about that is you're in the Deadly Legacy Virus scenario, you were only getting 1 extract and they were getting 2. But in human scenario, you're getting 2 and they're getting 2. So it actually is better for you, even though
theoretically
it
still forces you to fight. Because it's parity. No one's advantaged. You're not doing the Black Order turtle. It's like, okay, well, we're both just going to score 2 points every round. Well, then we'll fight over the secures. And so it does devolve into a game. And it doesn't do that.
And unlike, this is interesting, because unlike in Deadly Legacy Virus, your opponent doesn't have to send everybody to one side. Mm-hmm. They can spread out, which is what the scenario lists would love to do, right?
Yes.
But in this one, they feel like they need to come in to get that other, whatever they couldn't safe extract, right?
Yeah.
They send somebody over there. That is a really interesting idea.
And so, like, in the example of your list, you're like, okay, so they put their safe extractor on one side. You put Juggernaut on the other side. So if you're going to guarantee your first turn is taking one of these, well, I'm going to put Jugs on the other side. So I'm either going to take it and leave or take it and stand there. And then, okay, well, then I'll put... And then it's like, so now what do I do? Because this was going to be my refused flank, and now I have to deploy into Juggernaut. So it's like, all right, well, I'll put my leader over here. It's like, cool. Now I'm going to put Logan there. And you're like, oh, well... And then it's like, now I'm just going to dogpile my entire list on the side you were planning on going to. It's like, well, now you're going to just take the other side, so I'll put the other half of my models over there. It's like, I'll fight you wherever you go. And then if you don't want to fight, you just take all the blues. If they're going to, like, do their turn one safe extract one side and try and overcommit to the other to scare you away. It's like, well, I'll just take 4 blues and 1 extract, and I'll end up winning on points anyway.
Also, if they're safely extracting only one side, and that's all they do, then it doesn't matter what little shitty model you send to pick up the other one, because there's nobody's there.
Because they're not committing to stop you. Right. Yeah. So we're just alternating.
Right.
Yeah.
But in that scenario specifically, the attrition list is still is still at a benefit, right? Because they're not spending their points getting safe extractors; they're spending their points getting killers, right? So the chance of them getting an advantage on the other side, the non-safe extraction side, is high. And then that it makes,
because outside of a
sense.
leadership component, you're spending 5 points on a safe extract.
Right.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I really okay. I'm starting to see the benefits of Inhumans over something like Legacy Virus. At first, but like you
Also,
said, the first layer makes it seem like
it's bad on its face, but
yeah.
it has layers.
Right.
The other thing is because you can't stack them, it becomes really hard for like a super tall list to take advantage of it. You can't have like an Immortal Hulk running around with 4 tokens. And then also there's 4, not 5, and so it's really hard to run away with it. Because like generally speaking, the worst case scenario is going to be 3 to 1. Well, if it was a 5-point mission, and it's going to be at least 3-2, one side or the other. And so it's already like best case scenario for a 5 is worst case scenario for a 4. And so it's much more symmetrical because of that. I like the way that plays out a lot, because the difference between 4 and 3 is noticeable, but I think the difference between 4 and 5 is even more noticeable.
Yeah.
Because with 3, it's like, hey, worst case scenario, you're going to have 2. 4, worst case scenario, you're going to have 3, but it's in the 2, when we have 3 extracts, you're guaranteed to have 2 of them. Somebody's going to have 2 of them. So it's already like one person scoring double. And so the other way, it's like, well, if we split 2-2, that was never possible in 3 or 5, which is effectively the only other point totals because nobody plays the 6. And it's almost never does anyone get a majority of the 6s just because of the way that mission works. And so, yeah, I think this is actually one of the better thought out missions I've seen come out in a while. It's still got its own issues, but it's actually pretty fun to play.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever played it and had a bad time. Like at most,
and
it's picked it up. And I was like, cool.
Parker said before, it's basically a non-special rule scenario. Like it's a secondary effect that is very non-effective in the game. Like it almost never comes up.
Yeah, it's not that you couldn't ever use it. It's that you probably shouldn't most of the time. Like if you did, it probably is worse than anything else you could have done with that action.
The big time the only time it really matters is when you have like 2-pointers or 3-pointers that have like no attack suite basically to speak of, and you give them access to a beam that they would normally not have.
Like your Wongs and Bobs and
exactly. Wongs, Bobs are great examples of this. Lockjaw, it's like you only have range 2 attacks, so this gives you a range 3. But also because, like Parker was talking about, this can get used a lot more than books. Because, like Parker said, it tends to be refused flank a lot. And so you have a pile of like 6 models on one flank, and it's like 2 of those guys have shotguns. And so all of a sudden you're hitting 4 people, and it's like, well, this kind of matters, actually.
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to bring this up as the next point for your Hydra list, because we know you for a fact want to choose blues, right? Mm-hmm. And so what we want to do is encourage your opponent to choose reds when they win prio. And I think one way to do that is by taking even-numbered extracts. Because the normal thought process is if you have prio, you want there to be an odd number because you're going to get the odd numbers, right? You're going to get the plus. And so I would recommend putting all even numbers. So I would do hammers this and then pick another even numbered.
Right now I have scientific samples because I like it the most. I
have to refresh myself on that.
That's the D one that gives you scientific hubris kind of on skulls.
Okay, I like that.
You gain an extra victory point if all of the player's characters are within 2 of secure objectives. So it's possibly to score 5 on it.
I don't like that because I don't see you being the guy that's going to have all of them. Like there's just so many.
So
I guess it's only people holding extracts. That's easier. So if your opponent has any kind of board control, it just automatically gets broken up.
I have played Unexpected Guests, Crash Royal Wedding. That's the last hard 4. And I do actually like that one, but some people I know hate it. But it's only ever benefited me. Oh, sorry, Scrolls is the other one. I don't like Scrolls. I fucking hate Scrolls. Scrolls pisses me off. But
well, hold on. That means that there's 5 even numbered now.
It's Worthy, Advanced Weaponry, Unexpected Guests, Crash Royal Wedding, Scrolls, Infiltrate World Leadership. That's it. I guess.
4. Yeah. Okay. No, well, also Senators technically. because it's 6.
Oh, scientific samples is that's 5. It's 5 possibly.
Oh, you're talking about points, not tokens. I'm talking about tokens.
I'm talking about points, max points per round.
Yeah, I'm more worried about the number of tokens for this selection, but it's important to keep in mind the maximum scoring as well.
So the maximum tokens, I do like scientific samples a lot.
Okay, if you like samples, that's fine. I think unexpected guests might be better for your list, but if you prefer to play them, yeah, because I'm just worried that you're going to get the short end of the last thing you want is your opponent to get to 16 on guaranteed on turn 4. Like you want more time than that, right?
Yeah.
And so if they're scoring, if they get 2 of them and they can lock in a couple of those extra points, well, there's 6 points on extracts in 2 turns. If they're also getting 2 secures, then they're scoring 5 points a turn. They're at 15 at the end of 3. You have to have won the game already. And so that's the kind of thing I'm worried about. It changes the math a lot when you take 3 points off their total. It gives you a whole nother round to play. And so that's the only thing I'd be worried about. I think you would want the lowest scoring of those options.
Okay, let me try it. I'm going to try unexpected guests. I'm going to try that. I played it once and I loved it, and it won me the game. The effect of pulling a guy, it won me the game. But after we've talked about it, after the game, we were just like, man, that was so freaking scary. If at any point it wasn't exactly the situation, it could only have ruined me. But I guess the other option is scrolls, and I know you guys like scrolls. It's such feels bad when you roll.
I think
when you miss the roll.
Scrolls now is so different than scrolls back in the day, though, because you're talking about everything back in the day was Thanos, Malekith. It's such a different meta now that a random guy getting pushed isn't instant death anymore. It's just very different.
My list does have a lot of 4-dicers as well. It's a lot of 4 dice physical.
Yeah,
it's actually a lot.
And Juggernaut's one of the best models on scrolls because he doesn't really care if he gets pushed. He takes a side point. He's like, oh, I know I got pushed short forward. Oh no, I'm fucking Juggernaut. And he's 4 dice on top of it. It's very unlikely to even happen.
Wow, my list, my secures changed, my extracts changed a lot. But I'm gonna try these 2 things because I love my list so much. I'm gonna try these 2 things that I don't like and see if it overwhelms my distinct.
Yeah, worst case scenario, you switch to missions you like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's gonna wrap it for us today. Unless you guys have anything at the button.
No.
Okay. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Hopefully you had a good time. This has been Brandon.
And Parker.
And Josh.
And you just listened to Advanced Weaponry.